Let's also use this moment to talk about some, interesting news that also happened here from within the family, so to speak, of TVC Communications, and that's our own Inyolua Popola,
yes,
who is, a brilliant,
reporter.
Producer. Okay, all right, okay, reporter.
She's a producer on this show.
And then she's one of our producers here, one of the brilliant hands, that help in our work. Well, Inyolua Popola, young promising journalist, this week. All right, let me read it so I don't get it mixed up, because it's also a thing of pride for the TVC family. She won the Stella Dean Jacob Women in Journalism Award. And Stella Dean Jacob is the director of news here at TVC News. Of course, she's the #1 Nigerian female journalist, going by this year's, statistics. And of course, she's our general. And now in her name, the Stella Dean Award, our own Inyolua Popola gets to win that award.
The very first.
The very first.
The very first.
The very first. And let's bring up that report now.
Exploring the theme, the future of African journalism, content, policy, and business viability, participants acknowledged that to elevate the standards of media professional practice in Africa, there is a compelling need to reshape the operational framework.
The African landscape is growing, but we're not where we're supposed to be. So our focus is to groom the next generation and the early career journalists to become the best that they can be. We're looking at media sustainability. Media is having challenges, but we know that there are opportunities because of the liberalization.
During a panel discussion, there was a focus on the expanding digital trajectory. While recognizing its significance, the panel addressed the disruptions technology has introduced to the media space, underscoring the importance of credible and fact-checked news content.
When we do the right thing, when we ensure that we always release a disclaimer, especially when even these fake news harbingers use authentic platforms like TVC to churn out their fake news, that's to tell you the idea of credibility. That's to tell you the idea behind the fact that for you to even to sustain your business, you need a high level of credibility.
Some people believe that fake news will save actually good journalism, because at the end of the day, when people begin to distrust fake news, they will start looking for reputable, reliable sources of news. Are you there? Are you there online also? But that means you have to have a plan to be online, to be able to provide that accurate news and also make money from that.
The winner, Inyolua Popola, of the Award for Women in Journalism, which has now been named after TVC's Director of News, Mrs. Stella Dean Jacob, also emphasized the importance of women breaking barriers in the media space.
Accuracy and integrity is one key thing when you're a media professional. That is one thing that at least every media professional should stand by at. And for women like us, it has always been very difficult to break the barrier. And I mean, this has shown that women can do things. I mean, we have different women professionals. We have role models in the media industry.
The Africa Foundation for Young Media Professionals has actively engaged in media skill development, mentorship, and providing discussion platforms to empower media professionals. Ifunanya Eze, TVC News, Lagos.
So congratulations to our own Inyolua Popola. Of course, the reward for hard work, because that is what we are seeing, evidence of hard work, diligence. We know the work of a journalist, and when you say journalist, it's a title that, comes with a lot of other, hidden titles. Of course, in the newsroom, you can be, anything, so to speak. You can be a reporter, you can be an anchor. Of course, you could also be a researcher, you could be a web producer, a news producer, and the likes. But the work of a journalist is, such a, very intensive one. Because there's even this mantra that it's so cool to date a journalist, because, they know a lot.
You will always be updated.
Absolutely. They know a lot about everything. I mean, look at you now. You're my go-to for entertainment news. And
you're my go-to for legal,
and the
legal stories.
But then we don't stop there, like we're doing now. There's also so many other things that you need to do. And, being rewarded for your work as a journalist is such a big deal. But then it also comes with, more responsibility that, of course, you just must deliver Of course, you're making impact. That's key. I always, love that, and I'm sure many journalists share that view. But, there is, of course, the fact that more still needs to be done. There's still more ground to cover.
There's a lot of ground to cover, and congratulations to Inyolua.
Indeed.
She also received some cash rewards too.
Oh, my goodness. You have to go there.
Congratulations on that as well. But it is because we have to applaud, because I remember one story she did, the dancing traffic warden. I can't remember how long ago, but it's like almost about 2 years ago. So, and she just points to the fact that you can see a story and think it's ordinary, but she has a way of bringing these stories to life that you look at it and say, okay, yeah, there's something substance to this, and it's quite commendable that she is a recipient of this award, and it shows how far young people like us can go if we actually apply ourselves to the tenets of the profession, and not just journalism profession, but every other profession. And if we actually have to sit down to study and understand what we are doing, then the sky will just be our starting point. Congratulations, Inyolua Popola.
Absolutely, congratulations to Inyolua Popola, and of course this is just a starting point. You're young. Sorry, I'm stressing the word young, but it's an advantage.
It is actually,
so to speak, especially when you start in this work. When you start this work at an early age, it's an advantage because you get to see a lot of things. Of course, there is the issue of marriage, having to contend with challenges, and marriage with a job, with a job of a journalist. That's tough.
I remember starting out in the University of Ibadan, precisely Diamond FM. That's when I started, close to my final year, and yes, I could explore and all of that. Even when I came out of school, it's an assignment, bam, it's a breaking news, I move, and all of that. But right now, you have to think about a lot of things before you even make a move. But it's important, like you said, Kemi, to it's good that you start early. At least you would have done quite a lot before you now get into other issues of life, which are quite important as well. But it's quite important, but quite commendable.
And yeah, very, very commendable. So there you have it. Now, if you're eyeing a profession as interesting and intriguing as journalism, perhaps this is another time for you to think well, and of course you are but then we welcome you. But then
yes, welcome.
We welcome you.
It comes a lot of sacrifices.
We welcome you.
A lot of sacrifices. They say the profession is a jealous profession.
Right, and even your family members, somehow they become journalists. Somehow
yes.
So I think that's also a plus. That's also a plus because, of course, in my home, for example, now it's still tough because, of course, with the children there, they want to understand that. But we have options. Why do we have to watch? Why do we have to watch news? Of course, there's the other people. Okay, let me not go there. But as a journalist, even when you are off duty,
you're still on duty.
You're still on duty, so to speak. Someone was telling me, some of my colleagues were telling me yesterday that this is the first year. In fact, one said, I've never gone on leave, in my years. I'm talking about years, packing years. I've never gone on leave as a journalist because my leave days are, of course, spent at work. One even said she was on maternity at the time, maternity leave, and she still had to turn in stories, though she wasn't going to work. Physically, so to speak. But, even while nursing a young baby, she still had to turn, because that's print. We know that print journalism is also another, very, very interesting and intriguing and hectic work. But then every job has its own, demands, and journalism is one of them.
Our job has its own demand, but it's important you take your leave because...
Yes, I know. Mental health awareness.
Yes, because the way our job is, you're not idle. You're on the move here, and it's when you go on leave, it seems strange. Like, what? I'm supposed to be working. Why am I here? Well, it's important to take some rest. Relax once in a while, let your guards down, and just enjoy life. Because as a journalist, we have that tendency of moving in such a way that we age, and we get to a point where we ask ourselves, what have I achieved? Have I been able to rest well? Have I been able to do this or do that? And so it's important that we actually take time off for ourselves to really, really rests.
Okay.